One's a D1 athlete, so a tough test right off the bat for St. Mary's, who we know is a great team, but, you know, in high school, a lot of players graduate. It's a different chemistry. It's a different rotation. We'll see how it plays tonight.
They've lost their 3 captains and the seniors from last year, 4 seniors altogether. Of course, Daniel Smythe and company. The big fella, Wisniewski.
Yeah. That guy was such an
Andrew
energy
Smith.
guy. He was an energy guy last year, so you're going to see who can step on in.
3 guys gone, but some new guys in, and some guys out tonight that are gone due to the state championship game last night for the Eaglets. Ho-hum, they won a state title in football last night. They will not see Axel Newell. They will not see their starting center, Jaden Savory. They will not see their reserve forward, Mr. Pruitt. But what's back is impressive. Trey McKinney, of course, the commit to Michigan Stick, and Sherrod Barnes, the commit to Western Michigan. We're going to see more of Quincy Wright tonight. We're going to see more of Zip Hines. We're going to see Peyton Kemp for the first time in an Eaglet uniform. And Luke Crichton is back. And, of course, Mr. Trusty, the blue-collar Aiden Hanks, will also step in and be a super sub.
Well, you know, Creighton, if he's a Creighton, he's going to be knocking down threes. But the player in the starting lineup that I'm really looking forward to seeing getting extended minutes is Zip Hines. I mean, I've been excited to see him get going for a couple years. First-year transfer, had to sit out. Last year, got some run a little bit here and there. But I really think his speed, he could change the tempo of this game, especially going up against a team like the Villages.
When you look at the Villages, you look at the head of the snake for them, and it's Aiden Corbin, the point guard, the commit to Daytona State Community College. He's a guy they really start things with. He leads the break, leads them in transition. He's a key tonight.
Yeah, and then you got to go with their big guy, the 4 to 5 star. Depends on who you're checking out, but Brutus can play. He hasn't selected where he's going to go yet, but he is a big boy, a guard, a forward, 6'7" junior, just long, athletic, and can score from all 3 levels. It's going to be fun when him and Trey get matched up one-on-one.
We've got a fun one tonight from Orchard Lake at historic Dombrowski Field. It's the Eaglets and the Buffalo. We got it next on the Prep. Interviews to come. Thanks for watching. Time now to sit down with head coach Todd Covert of Orchard Lake St. Mary's, the state champions of 2024. And what a great offseason it must have been, knowing that you were the top team in the state of Michigan officially. And after 24 years, this school got the state title back in its cabinet. How did you spend the offseason besides celebrating that title?
A lot of softball and my daughter.
Okay.
No, we had a good summer. We were able to be together and play in a few of the NCAA live period events, but those guys were a little bit scattered around the country with their various individual stuff and football. So it was good. It was a good little break, but it was. It was an enjoyable run. It was emotional. It was everything you expect. And we're back at it, and we got an opportunity to do something really, really special. And it's going to be a lot of mental fortitude and staying engaged and not being satisfied and trying to get better at everything we do. That's really what it's, we got to win every day. And I said, I'm going to push you guys pretty hard this year because, teams like this don't get an opportunity very, very often. And we're not going to lose it.
You lost 4 seniors last year, 3 of your top 6 in the rotation, I guess would be fair.
Yep.
And these are guys that I know were leaders for you and were multi-year players.
Yeah.
You bring a lot back. The cupboard's not bare.
Nope.
You're still #1 in the state, and you're the top target with on your back. Let's talk about the guys that return. Let's start with the guy that leads it, Trey McKinney, the 2-time back-to-back Michigan Player of the Year, Gatorade Player of the Year.
Yeah.
He signed with Michigan.
Yeah.
Congratulations to him. Congratulations to you to have coached a player like this. What does it mean now that Trey has committed and you guys can all kind of move on and have this season with that pressure off his back?
Yeah, I think that's it. I mean, he handled it, 100 times better than I would have at that age, maybe more. But, he just handled the whole process extremely well. And, you know, he just kept the main thing, and you know, he was really professional about it, and you know, but I think he was glad to get it over, you know, as well. I think he was ready to move on, and I think he had a really good relationship and rapport with Coach May and Coach Boynton and really the whole staff. You know, I think he grew up, you know, being a Michigan fan, so you know, the stars aligned. You know, the style of play is good, so just I'm happy for him. I'm happy for his family, because he deserves every bit of what he gets.
Yeah, and you've got two other guys coming back. Sherrod Barnes signs with Western Michigan.
Yep.
Returning starter, 3-year starter, 4-year starter.
Yeah.
This is a guy that you really lean on and as the point guard and the tough defender.
Yeah.
He's a pleasure to bring back as well, I know.
Yeah, he's really picked up the leadership void, you know, with with Bugsy and Mason, and Andrew leaving and Angel. You know, he's kind of taken on that role, and he's mentoring some younger kids and, you know, helping them through the tough days. And it's kind of great to see, because, you know, those guys really, I really missed them. You know, they're earlier this fall. You know, so these guys, they're just coming into it right now, being leaders and organizing stuff and leading the team. So I don't, you know, us and the coaching staff don't have to do everything. You know. So.
You'll bring back some guys tonight that will be a little bit heavier. Their rings, they're going to have some bling on.
Yeah.
The state champion football Eaglets, Jaden Savory, Axel Newell, and Kareem Pruitt.
Yeah.
We'll start with Savory, your returning starter, who won't be with you tonight.
He's not?
I thought he wasn't.
No.
You told me that.
I'm waiting for him to come out the door down there. But no, I get it.
I think you could probably get him here if you wanted.
Yeah.
Savory's back, and he's a big part of your team. He's going to Michigan State to play football. But listen, this guy's one big season away from maybe getting fought for the basketball team. Tom Izzo might fight for him.
Yeah, he's talented. He's a Division I basketball player all day. But he's just extremely talented with, you know, his size and his ability to run and his hands, and so smart. Like, he is he's a big part of our offense that we run things through, you know. So it's going to take him a minute, but that's all right. It'll give some of the younger guys like Quincy an opportunity to, you know, get going, because we're going to need both of them. You know, it's kind of like Mason and Jaden were last year. We're going to need both of them. So.
We also have Zip Hines to talk about, and the guy you alluded to, Quincy Q. Wright, the other starter, a guy that we saw flashes of last year, teases of. Tough to get minutes on that team, of course. We'll see a lot of them this year, it sounds like. And then we'll also, of course, see Zip Hines and Peyton Kemp.
Yeah, so Zip's really, he's another one that's kind of taken on some leadership roles and being a voice as well. You know, really, he truly is a point guard. He can get into the paint at nearly any time, and you know, he's really getting better with his reads and playing off the ball as well. So he's had like I was telling you earlier, he had a great summer defensively. I mean, he really guarded well this summer.
Who are some guys that we haven't talked about that we should know about that will fight for minutes this year?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking down there. I mean, you got a lot. You got 5 or 6 guys. I mean, you know, Mateen Cleaves is a freshman. Unbelievably smart kid, and the speed of the game does not matter. Matthias and Hanks and Christian. You know, Luke Crichton was a starter as a freshman.
Yeah.
He's back with us. You know, he played some big. You know, I think he had 16 or 17 out against East Kenwood as a freshman.
Man.
So,
lastly, the Villages. Give us your thought on the Buffalo tonight, who come in from Florida into Michigan to take on battle.
I was trying to think. I don't know if anybody ever from Florida has played here in Michigan.
No,
maybe
never.
So, I like to do things a little bit different, but yeah, it's great. We'll see. You know, they're a really talented team. They, you know, obviously made it to the state finals last year. They got a couple really talented guards. So we'll see. Yeah.
Thanks, man.
All right, man.
Appreciate
Thanks,
it. We'll
Jeff.
do this again.
All
Appreciate
right.
it. That's Todd Covert and his thoughts before it's the Villages against Orchard Lake St. Mary's, their first game after their state title from a year ago. Back with more right after this. Welcome back. We've got the head coach of the Villages, Colt McDowell, with us now. They made the trip up from Florida, a top 5 team from Florida, play a national schedule. And here you are in Metro Detroit. Welcome to Michigan. You challenged yourself at coming in the coldest of weather.
Yes, sir.
And how's the trip gone so far?
Man, it's been great. We've definitely got the Michigan experience for our players and staff. And we've got 14 players, 6 staff members with us. 13 of them had never seen snow before yesterday. So we had a snowball fight in the Detroit Metro Airport parking lot, and that was awesome. So it's been good, man. It's been a really good trip. Flight was on time. Able to get a good practice in last night. Got some good food. Got some pizza from Buddies, and had a good evening and then had a good morning this morning. So it's been a good trip so far.
So far, you guys are 2-1 on the year.
Yes,
you also had a preseason schedule. You challenged yourself. And ho-hum, you only knocked off the #1 team from last year, Mount Verdi, already this season. Talk to us a little bit about your team and what you've got this year.
Okay, yeah, we've got a group of kids that are really tough and really, really together. Talented as well. Our top 6 can play against anybody, as we've proven in the fall and in the summer. But we got to stay there. We got to stay right size and keep growing. And we're still we've reset and restarted from the preseason and fall, and it takes a little bit of time to mesh together and play together again, and we felt a little bit last week in our first two regular season games. So, very much still figuring it out, but we want to play our best basketball at the end of the year, and that's why we come play games like this and challenge ourselves. We'll play anybody anywhere, and we like to get good games against great competition, and it doesn't get any better than this. I'm from Northern Michigan originally, had a rough life. I moved to Florida when I was 7, so I lived in the Villages all winter, and I got to live in Northern Michigan all summer. So I've known about Orchard Lake St. Mary's my entire life, and it's really cool to get to come play a storied program like them and bring my team up here to play them. And I've got some family members from the Traverse City area that made the trip down, so special trip for us all the way around.
That's great. Well, welcome.
Yes, sir.
Tell us a little bit how this game came about.
So we came up for the David Barnes. John Strong's one of our assistant coaches. He retired to the Villages. The Villages is a retirement community in Central Florida.
Sure.
250,000 people from all over the place. And then every kid that plays for us, their parents work for the Villages in some capacity. We're a charter school. So it could be anything from a doctor, a lawyer, a CEO, down to somebody working at your local grocery store or laying the bricks that the houses are built with.
Sure.
So we came up here as part of our fall schedule in Florida. We're able to play in the summer. We're also able to play in the fall as a travel team. And we came up, did the David Barnes, and that was good for our guys, got them out. We like to do, like I said, team building exercises with them, get them in different places away from everything. And we did that, and we heard that Orchard Lake was looking for some games, and sent some dates to Coach Covert, and he sent the dates back, and it worked out. So Here we are.
What do you see in Orchard Lake St. Mary's, the defending champion in Division I in the state of Michigan from a year ago?
Yeah, obviously super talented, super well coached. A little bit of a challenge, looking at them because we didn't have any film with this being their first game. Trying to watch some game film from last year and trying to figure out, we know Trey McKinney, obviously. We know Sherrod Barnes. We know Jaden Savory, but was Savory going to play or not with them being in the state finals last night in football? And I've heard he's not. And then, they got some kids, Peyton Kemp and Quincy Wright.
That's right.
Quincy Wright.
That's right.
And so, just trying to figure out and then look at who's back and who's gone. And but obviously super talented team, really well coached, run their stuff well, and defend really, really well. So we got our hands full tonight. We know that. And, we're going to come out and try to do what we do and be us.
Tell us the brand of basketball that you want to play tonight in game number 4.
Yeah, we play a fast, low tempo. We want to get out and run. If we got a good shot, we're not one of those teams that we're trying to work it 16 passes and then shoot. If we got a good shot in our transition offense, we'll take it. If not, we want to get to 2 and 3 sides of the floor like every other coach. And then we want to play really good man-to-man principle defense and be really tough and really together. And that's what we're trying to do is build that toughness and togetherness in the face of any kind of adversity we may see.
It's Colt McDowell, Michigan native.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Thank you, sir.
10th year head coach.
Yes, sir.
Enjoy your trip in Michigan. Thanks for hanging out.
Thank you, sir. And, go blue.
All right, right on.
There you go.
For sure.
And go Gators. We're big Gator fans.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good to see you. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it. We're back with more on the Prep right after this.
Look, everybody wanna go and talk it. At the same time, gotta walk it. Better yet, run, go, hit a lick, divvy up with my homies, and we do it all again. Whenever we get it, there's no hesitation.
Welcome back to Dabrowski Fieldhouse. It's opening night for the Prep. It's opening night for Orchard Lake St. Mary's, coming off their 5th state title in school history last year, Division I, represented by the Division I Player of the Year, Trey McKinney. They'll take on the Villages for the first time ever. A school from Florida is in the state of Michigan stick to play a basketball game. This is history tonight.
Yeah, not only history for the school, but history for these kids. You told me they were having a snowball fight last night because the coach was saying they haven't seen snow ever. So it was a nice welcoming, a nice Michigan welcome for them here. I believe it was 23 degrees on my drive-in.
Pretty cool. It's starting to get a little icy. We've got two talented teams. We'll introduce the starting lineups coming up next. When we come back, we'll have the tip from Dabrowski in Orchard Lake, Michigan. The 2-1 Buffaloes against the about to be unraveled Eaglets coming in number 1 in the state of Michigan. First, life gives us many. From buying your first car or first home to starting a business, Alliance Catholic Credit Union is here for you every step of the way. From checking and savings accounts and youth accounts to auto loans, mortgages, business needs, and financial planning. A full-service financial institution with over 70 years of experience. We're committed to serving your firsts, seconds, 50ths, and every day in between. Alliance Catholic Credit Union. Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
In today's ever-changing mortgage lending world, the importance of true professionals has never been greater. At Success Mortgage Partners, we want you to have the experience of a lifetime. Founded and owned by Catholic League alumni, our family-centered business keeps your interest at heart as we help you navigate this turbulent market with ease. If you or a family member has a mortgage need, please call me, Owen Lee, at 734-822-9792.
Lowering the shoulder.
Swing and a miss.
McKinley scores!
And it's going to be a challenge for us. I mean, they're a really talented football team. I think everybody knows that.
Four wide receivers. Pressure. Steps up. Marshall wants to run again. Cuts down the middle of the field. All alone. Touchdown! Warriors! What a cut. All right, let's meet the starting lineups for tonight's game between the Villages, out of the Villages, Florida. That's near Orlando. And Orchard Lake St. Mary's, the Eaglets, the host team, the number one team in the state of Michigan in Division I to start the year. It's early. Eaglets challenge right off the bat. The Villages, a charter school out of Florida, top 5 in the state. This is how they will roll things out under their 10th-year head coach, Colt McDowell, who started his young life in Traverse City, about 4.5 hours north of here, but state he loves, close to his heart. Hurley Brutus is their top player, 6'7", high major, 4-star, 5-star. Watch him, 3-level scorer. He's one of their best players. Aiden Corbin is their point guard. He's a senior at 6 foot, Daytona State Community College commit. Jared Thompson is a junior guard at 6'3". He's one of the starters. Aaron Britt Jr., a sophomore at 6'2", rounds out the backcourt. And then up front is the very talented Jamar Bernard at 6'7", the 10th grader. And that rounds out the starting 5 for the Villages, who comes in 2-1 on the year. And again, under Colt McDowell, their head coach in his 10th year. And this is a program that competes in the EYBL. And there'll be a tough test tonight for Todd Covert and the Eaglets, who come out with a new-looking, fresh starting 5. And some new faces, some old faces as well. So it's Trey McKinney. That's a familiar face. The 2-time Michigan Player of the Year, 6'4", top 20 player in the state, or excuse me, in the country, top player in the state of Michigan, recently committed to Michigan to play for Dusty May and the Wolverines. They're in the house tonight. Sherrod Barnes is part of that Division I backcourt. He's committed to Western Michigan, and no slouch. This is a 6'2" senior, one of the top defenders in the state, and he will be the leading guard for Todd Covert and his top leader this year. Isaiah Zip Hines, a guy that fit well last year off the bench, very quick, defensive-minded, and a scorer. He'll plug in at the guard spot at 5'10". He's a senior. Peyton Kemp, the guy they call PK, a sophomore at 6'2", a guy they're really excited about, an intelligent player. He will be good in the pick-and-roll game. And Quincy Wright in the front court stick, a guy I know you're excited about at 6'8", the sophomore. A guy that can really run in transition, and he's got power 4 interest as well.
Yeah, if you're looking at St. Mary's, the one thing they did lose in the offseason was some size. So it's nice to see another 6'8" guy get in there, and he's going to get some extra run tonight with Jaden Savory sitting out after winning the state championship in football last night.
That's right. Axel Newell and Kareem Pruitt will sit as well. Opening tip is tapped out of bounds. Eaglets will control left to right. The Eaglets, coached by Todd Covert in his 8th year, associate head coach Leonard Karshnia, assistant coach Lauren Bowman, the second Brad Crichton and Marcus Webster. Eaglets work it to the far side. Pull up mid-post jumper, Sherrod off the glass. And here comes the Villages, right to left in their Vegas gold and green. Left wing triple, that's Britt, and he cans it right in front of the Eaglets bench. 3-0, 30 seconds gone by in Orchard Lake, Michigan.
Yeah, nice quick shot, early possession, and that's what you need to do against Orchard Lake St. Mary's. They are great in the half court, so those quick shots will pay dividends.
Trey McKinney double-teamed and forced into a turnover. It was the combination of Brutus and the sophomore Jamar Bernard. And active early are the boys from the Villages.
Well, the Villages are 2-1 on the year, so they have some advantage of already having some games underneath their belt. St. Mary's, this is still just knocking the cobwebs off, so it's going to be interesting to see how this game plays out. But you can tell the Villages have come out with a lot more aggression early.
Corbin, their leading scorer at 22 a game. It's 25 degrees and snowing outside. The coldest it's been here since February of last year. Pull up, Trey McKinney, 4-3, Splash City. And we're tied at 3 with 7 to go here in the first.
And that's what makes Trey just almost indefensible. Big body guy, can take you on the block, but also hit the step back 3 right in your face.
Committed to Michigan just a couple weeks ago. The head coach, Dusty May, across the way, sitting next to his father, John. Peyton Kemp guarding the ball. He does that well. Working against Corbin, their lead point guard. Thompson in the corner, kick out, topside triple, Bernard no. Quincy Wright with a rebound. On the move, Zip Hines. Zip attacks and backs up and travels.
Yeah, that's the one thing. Zip has the incredible speed, but sometimes he gets a little bit ahead of himself, and there you see it there, just that extra little step in the lane, that hop. But it's interesting, they have him being the leading point guard, bringing the ball up the court, moving Sherrod Barnes to more of a shooting guard position.
Yeah, and I asked Todd Covert about that, and he thinks it's going to rotate around a little bit, but I think everybody knows that man number 1's going to have the ball in his hands at most times. And he has it now after the steal. Trey rocking the dribble. Mid-post for Peyton Kemp. Kemp tipped but completed to the corner. Glasser, no good, too strong, out of bounds, and the Buffaloes get it back right to left, and a tie game at 3, just underway, 5:41 to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, interesting to note that Brutus is guarding Trey McKinney on the defensive end, but Trey McKinney is not taking on Brutus on the offensive end.
He's no fool.
No, and when you got another 6'8" guy to match up with 6'7", you do it.
That's right. Britt rocks the drive and gets bodied by Q. The foul on the sophomore Quincy Wright, a guy who played some minutes last year, Stick, but really they were garbage minutes, to be fair, on that loaded team. He didn't get many minutes throughout the main year.
Yeah, I mean, but there was a lot of garbage time, too, because they were blowing out teams perennially last year. I mean, they were doing it almost every single game. So a lot of exposure last year, but like we were talking in the pregame, it's a whole new year, a whole different set of circumstances. Everything's a little bit different, and we'll see if St. Mary's can figure it out again to win that state championship.
This is Aaron Britt, the top 60 player in the class of 26. He splits the pair. Good leader on the floor. They got a couple of them. And Aiden Corbin and that fella. Pass down low in traffic, no good. Picked off. Back the other way. Helter Skelter. Corner kick. Sherrod Barnes. Splash City. Eaglets have knocked down their second triple of the night. 3 minutes in.
And those quick transition baskets are going to be crucial in a game like this against a team like the Villages. This is the guy I came to see right here, Mr. Brutus.
A little attack ISO, and Hurley Brutus bullies his way down the boulevard for a lay-in. We're tied at 6. Zip Hines backs it out. Quincy out to Trey, lights it up, top side, in and out, no. And the rebound pulled off by Jamar Bernard at 6'7". Left wing, Corbin. Bernard right point against McKinney. Takes him off the bounce, fastball over for a strike. Corner 3, no. Sherrod on the run, quick ahead, Zip Hines on the avenue. They'll never get him. But an offensive foul, and you saw it the whole way, partner.
Yeah, it's a ticky-tacky foul, but you can definitely tell why they call it. Just watch here. You're going to see him step in and just box out. Moving pick, I guess you could call it. But Quincy Wright just got caught with a hand in the cookie jar there.
Yep.
Only a sophomore. He'll learn tricks to get away with that in the future.
That's right. Zip not a guy that needs a whole lot of haltering.
Yep, a lot of recognition.
Turn and gun, fire no. Britt off the mark. Trey to the front court. Kick corner, Sherrod Barnes. The future Bronco again, no. Wright couldn't save it. And now it's Brutus on the run, leading the 4-on-3.
Sherrod Barnes has come out shooting the basketball. I think he's, 1 of 5 on the game, but that's not going to deter him. He's going to keep shooting.
He will. We know he can attack it, too. A couple different levels. Pull up, 15-footer. Nice look at lefty J for Corbin, the Daytona State Community College commit. And a guy that's their top defender as well at 3 picks a game.
Yeah, that was a nice balanced move, able to bully Trey McKinney off of him and buy space. That's not easy to do. Buffalo by 2.
3 minutes to go. Trey pull up, Splash City. Another triple. 2 for Trey, 9-8. Eaglets by 1 with 3 to go.
Yeah, I don't think putting Bernard out on Trey on the perimeter is a great move for the Villages.
Todd Covert says he's gotten more confident, he's gotten better, and made the U.S. Olympic team, went down to Brazil, won a gold medal. Meanwhile, that shot's good. That's Aiden Corbin again. Peyton Kemp's shot is blocked, and Corbin comes away with it.
Yeah, that's Brutus and those long arms getting involved. This is a mismatch on the block.
Brutus against Kemp, and he takes him down to the block and to school. 3-point lead for the Villages. Matches their largest.
And that's just great matchup recognition there by Brutus. He had the smaller guy on him and took it to him.
Brutus, who's battled injuries, did not play this summer on the circuit.
Todd Covert not happy with that shot selection from Zip Hines. As Larry Brown would say, you can get that shot anytime. Why not work for a better one?
That's it. You could say that about Brutus, but he's feeling it. Heat checker, no. Throw ahead, Quincy Wright. Slips, falls. Loose ball, Sherrod. We got a tie-up and a jump ball coming.
Man, Quincy Wright, his leg extended out there. That looked like it could be very uncomfortable. But he looks like he popped up okay. Here you get a look at it. And a finger on the ball and then just slips. Almost does the splits.
The banana peel's out there again.
St. Mary's addressed that a couple years ago with
They did. It's a jinx.
the new AC system.
Substitutions for both teams. Luke Crichton checks in, the Indiana commit in baseball. Took a year off last year for basketball. Focus on his academics in baseball, and he's back, and he looks chiseled up. He'll contribute this year. Also into the game for the Villages, they check in number 5. It's Ethan Beavis, the 6'4" junior guard. And also into the lineup is number 10. That's Jadance Kennedy, the 10th grader at 6 foot, who's matched up there with Zip Hines. Tough matchup coming. Trey looking for Q down low. Working against their top player in Brutus. Step back three, and he got him again. 3 times he's got him, and he's got 9 of the 12 points for the Eaglets, and a deep stare from Trey McKinney into the eyes of Brutus.
And he's taking him on the defensive end now, too. A little bit personal now.
Trey, not a man of many words, but got some fire in that belly. Picks it up. Some fire in that hair, too. Shot blocked, whistle called. It was a late whistle, but it was the right call. And it's Trey McKinney line right to shoot 2. And to give the Eaglets the lead with under a minute to go in the first.
But those 2 back-to-back possessions give you a little look at Trey McKinney's game. You know, he steps back, he's 3 feet behind the 3-point line, knocks one down, and that time just shows the size and strength, takes on 3 guys and gets to the line.
Yeah, he has added strength. Talked to Todd Covert, his coach, about that. Said, look, he's a big guy. Sometimes they want to shave guys down. Sometimes they want to build them up. He said they want him right where he's at. Let Trey be Trey, and his style of play fits very well at Michigan. He's got that 3-point shot. Todd said, hey, look, when you shoot 60% from the 2% range, they'll take you. But a great summer.
And him standing at the line, just noticeably different body type than every other player on the court. You know, when he gets to the college level, there'll be other guys that are just as big and just as broad. But at the high school level, it's so tough to match up with him.
U.S. Olympian, the 17U team. He was the 2nd leading scorer and the 2nd leading rebounder on that club that went down to Brazil and took home a gold medal for the U.S. of A. Lob into the paint. Aiden Hanks is checked in for the Eaglets. Topside pass to Beavis, stolen by Trey. Trey all the way down the avenue, yes. He's got 13 of the 16 for OLSM. With 17 seconds left in the first, it's been the McKinney show as expected.
Yeah, and he's locked in on the defensive end, too, calling out picks, yelling at his teammates and stuff like that in a good way.
Yep. Goes for the steal there, completed. Dead spot left, 3-ball Bernard. And that ends the quarter, and that ends a fantastic first frame of the 2024 season for the defending champion Eaglets. As we go to the second quarter in Orchard Lake, we got a dandy. It's Florida versus Michigan for the first time ever in basketball history in this great state. At Alliance Catholic Credit Union, we're your financial guardian angel. We're here to help you achieve your dreams. A new home, a Catholic education, that business you are working to build. We're here to support the goals of your family, your retirement, and the community that surrounds you. We're here to offer your trusted financial services inspired by Catholic values. And like your guardian angel, we'll always be by your side. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Lowering the shoulder. Swing and a miss. McGinley scores!
And it's going to be a challenge for us. I mean, they're a really talented football team. I think everybody knows that.
Four wide receivers. Pressure. Steps up. Marshall wants to run again. Cuts down the middle of the field. All alone. Touchdown! Warriors! What a cut.
The Eaglets just getting underway in 2024. Division I and the MHSAA champions. Notable seasons, of course, 5 of them. Last in 2024. Runners-up in 94. Kalen Lucas, guy you should know, 4-star Michigan State Big Ten Player of the Year, and a guy that's played professionally in several countries, including the NBA, Detroit Pistons, and St. Mary's, home of the state champions now in football and in basketball. Sherrod Barnes off the bounce and some smoke behind those heels. Eaglets +3, their largest lead.
And the evolution of Sherrod Barnes on the offensive end has been fun to watch over the course of the last couple years.
Steal by Mateen Cleaves. Throw ahead. Trey McKinney with another Trey bomb. Get out of here. He's got 16 of the 21 for the Eaglets. Colt McDowell wants timeout in Orchard Lake. Eaglets on a run. Back with more after this.
Everybody wanna go and talk it. At the same time, gotta walk it. Better yet, run, go, hit a lick, divvy up with my homies, and we do it all again.
The Villages, charter school, 3A out of the state of Florida. They have their own championship in Florida. Notable alum, how about Trey Mann, who's playing in the league, Charlotte Hornets. And what a great career. Oklahoma City Thunder, my bad. But they played in the Final Four in their division last year. And this is a prize program. They're behind right now by 6, trying to cut the lead in half. It's an air ball from the top side from Aaron Britt Jr., one of their Division I prospects.
And you mentioned Mateen Cleaves getting into the game, somebody that I don't think we were expecting to see this early in the game, but here he is. Just a freshman getting some playing time early against one of the top teams in the nation.
Yep, pretty good to see. He's coming back from an injury. And he's coming off the bench. Trey McKinney not happy with that call. Eaglets got the ball stolen in a foul on the grab back. Zip Hines will check in. Cleaves will check out. Eaglets +6, 7:03 to go.
Trey McKinney, a smart veteran senior move there. I mean, not sure how they don't call that a breakaway foul, but I guess if you're on the ground.
He had a point, no doubt. Off the bounce into the paint, kick out. It's been a comfy spot for Bernard. Bernard topside, 2 sophomore bigs going at it, all alone getting loose. Layup good. And that is Jared Thompson, the 6'3 junior. Thompson had a 19-point performance in his last time out. Pass stolen away by Britt. Britt on the run, 3 against 3, pull up, 10-foot floater, no. Over the back, no call. Q right with a rip out. And now Trey McKinney to slow things down for OLSM, +4.
Yeah, a little helter-skelter basketball there, lots of tips. Fast hands from the Village. They're getting in a bunch of passing lanes. You saw it early in the game, trapping Trey McKinney. They're making it uncomfortable.
Eaglets with an unforced turnover there. Trey's pass was low. Not a good one. Hines couldn't scoop it. It's like that throw from third to first. You hope your first baseman can scoop it up.
Yep.
But if he doesn't, you can't bury him.
First baseman should always scoop it.
I know you play first base.
That's his job. That's his job, Chad.
You play that at softball.
I do, yeah. Softballs bounce a lot different than baseballs, I'll tell you that much. Took me a couple years to learn.
And basketballs, even different.
Imagine that.
Dead spot left, Thompson for three, no. Good box out by Sherrod Barnes. Trey on the run, looking for his fourth triple. Instead, floats up a 10-footer that rims off. Hurley Brutus with a rebound. Brutus with 4 points in this game, along with Britt to lead the way. 16 points for Trey McKinney, 5 for Sherrod Barnes. That's all the scoring for Orchard Lake St. Mary's. The two Division I backcourt mates. Kick out pass, corner three, Beavis, no. Out of bounds back to St. Mary's.
Yeah, and you were wondering, you know, with Orchard Lake St. Mary's, how the new rotations were going to work out and who's going to get on the scorer sheet for them. Sherrod Barnes, you knew was going to be Batman or Superman, Batman, however you want to pin him and Trey. But you got to expect Zip to get on the board at some time or Peyton Kemp to get on the board at some time. Quincy Wright, really haven't seen him down low have any major moves, so I'm not expecting him to get on the scorer's book, but the other two got to support him.
And for multiple reasons, some injuries, some guys just not being in town or whatever. Left corner three, long, and a body for the rebound. It's going to go on Bernard. It's going to stay on this side of the court. They got the 6'7" sophomore.
And that's where I expect Quincy Wright to do his damage, right? Down low, on the block, make it physical. If you get it, put it back up in, and that's the points I want you to get. But really, I need to see Zip Hines do a little bit more, and Peyton Kemp.
There's Peyton Kemp. Tap back, no. Fight for it, Sherrod. Buffalo comes up with it. Buffalo on the run, and that's an offensive foul, and they'll wave off the Corbin lay-in. Eaglets get it back +4. We haven't seen any scoring in a few minutes, Dick.
No, this is a tough call, too, because he's taken the defense pretty much one on everybody against Orchard Lake St. Mary's. And he had the angle, but Zip Hines just with the quick feet able to get in front of him and take the forearm shiver.
These guys have not played a lot of basketball together, Todd Covert warned us, you know, so we'll see. Interesting combinations. Trey McKinney is the answer to all challenges. He's got 19 points and on some kind of groove right now.
Yeah, of all the guys to lose track of, I don't know how you let number one get that wide open.
Turnover top side. That'll go back. Eaglets with their largest lead now of 7 on the Trey McKinney triple.
Yeah, you see Trey with just a ton of space. And he's going to knock that down probably 7 times out of 10.
Todd Covert, the coach of the year last year. B-Cam State of Michigan coach of the year. Guy that really focuses on the teamwork, discipline, perseverance, and developing his kids. Stolen, Britt the other way, and the lay-in's good, and Todd Covert wants timeout. We'll take it with him with 3:51 to go. This is the Preps coverage of St. Mary's and the Villages. We got a dandy. Thanks for hanging out.
What makes people stand in this line like this for 3 hours? Because we're not Dunkin' Donuts or Tim Hortons. These donuts are made fresh daily, and it's made with love and consistency. We got the same ingredients. It didn't change. The people know that, and that's why they standing out there.
Lowering the shoulder.
Swing and a miss.
McGinley scores!
Yeah, there they are. The state champions of 2024 in Division II are the Eaglets of Orchard Lake St. Mary's. And congratulations to Jermaine Gonzalez in his 3rd year. 3 wins a year ago. He took the Eaglets to the promised land this season and last night in Ford Field. A lot of hard work by him and his staff. And congratulations to Jermaine Gonzalez, who's done it now as a basketball player at Orchard Lake, a football player at Orchard Lake, and now as a coach at Orchard Lake St. Mary's. It's been impressive. Couldn't happen to a better guy. Trey McKinney has P.K. Peyton Kemp's back, and he's got Blackjack 21 points with 3:30 left. Eaglets +7.
Yeah, he just is everywhere on the court right now for the Eaglets. As you were talking about Jermaine Gonzalez, yeah, what an incredible run. I'm not sure how many coaches have won a state title and gone back to the alma mater and won it as a coach, but it's got to be rare company.
Not to mention, he's the athletic director. And how many state titles on his watch since he's been the athletic director the last 3 years? Banker up and good. Bernard shown some in and out, just like they promised, the 3-level scorer. I mean, impressive.
Yeah, I mean, we were looking, you got golf last year, basketball,
skiing,
baseball a couple years.
Corner threes long for Kemp. It's been a rough start for him. Guy who's battled injuries. Knocked away, that's a steal. 3-on-2 the other way. Zip Hines with a show, go, flow, yes.
And there you go. Kemp, having a rough time getting the ball in the hoop, but making it happen on the defensive end, leading to a breakout for Zip Hines to get on the board. It's exactly what you want to see if you're Todd Covert.
You bet. High on the right, Thompson. Back to their top player, Brutus, who has 4 points tonight. Trey McKinney has taken it personally. Long shot between the rings is off by Britt. Brutus keeps the possession alive. Thompson 3, no. Quincy Wright starts the break. Sherrod Barnes shakes, dips, and gets busted for that offensive foul.
Yeah, predictable right there, and a great job on defense by number 3, Britt, just standing in there and taking the charge. Sherrod Barnes, he wants to be aggressive, and look at that. Sliding a little, yeah, but also took it right in the chest. It feels like the Villages should be down by double digits, but here they are. They're hanging around, and they get a big bucket here. They're within 5 or 4.
Two fouls, they'll have to go to their bench. The big boy Bernard will step into it and triple. The best player on the floor tonight for the Villages has been the 10th grader. Give him 8 points. Trey lost it going up. That's because he got fouled. Mr. Kelser said so.
Yeah, when I walked in the gym, when you walk in up to the broadcast booth, you get a good look at these guys. I'm about 6'4", and you could tell, like, oh man, these are some tall high school kids from the Village. And I asked you, I'm like, the kid with the big hair, is that their best player? Because when he was warming up, he looked darn good, and now here he is on the floor, looking fantastic.
Really is. One of their talented players, dynamic shooter, 27 steals last year. Jamar Bernard, just a sophomore, a phenom last year as a freshman.
I could see it.
4-point game, 1:15 to go. Here come the Buffalo. Britt off the bounce against Crichton, shot short, ball loose. Trey's got it. .60 seconds left till halftime. Trey double team, throws it away.
Yeah, you could tell the Village has had enough of seeing Trey McKinney light him up.
Yep. Beavis from the corner. And it's a 1-point game. Beavis off the bench with a bump. And don't look now, the Eaglets by just 1.
But look at the balanced scoring for the Village. You got 4 points, 4 points, 2 points, 6 points, 3 points. And then you look over on the St. Mary's side, it's number 1. And that's about it on the scorers board.
3 players have scored. But 2 players have scored 98% of their points. 2 fouls now for Corbin, who will check out. So foul trouble perhaps for the Buffalo. Here come the Eaglets, perhaps their final possession of the first half. Crichton left point, Trey top of the circle. Step back triple, in and out, no. Quincy Wright couldn't save it. And it's a tie up and a jump ball. St. Mary's will keep it. No, they won't. That's going back to the Villages. 18.7 seconds left. and the Buffalo could take the lead going into the break.
I'm telling you, they got to feel good about themselves right now. They weathered the storm of Trey McKinney. Now it's just for Orchard Lake St. Mary's to figure out if anybody else can help.
Yep.
The Villages are playing good team basketball.
Kemp will pick up Britt. They'll leave it for Brutus. Rip, drive through traffic, and he has a jump ball. It was tied up. It goes back to St. Mary's now with 4.1 seconds left. They've got to hustle and go full court.
It was good defense on St. Mary's. Zip Hines getting his hands in there, causing the jump ball.
McKinney into Hines will zip his way across midcourt. 2-1 buzzer short. And we've got what we thought we'd have. Florida versus Michigan, two of the top teams in each state battling. And a good one and an opener for the Eaglets. We'll have a timeout. We'll talk to Don Horkey from the Michigan Catholic when we come back. You're watching the Preps coverage of Orchard Lake St. Mary's against the Villages of Florida.
Hi, I'm Nick DePonio, and this is HVAC.
The store is set up. He's got the order, and he's off. It's a full court press. These brands are knocking it out of the park. This, my friends, is the speed we've come to expect from this team. Just look at the precision of that move. And it's out of here.
Lowering the shoulder. Swing and a miss. McKinley scores!
Welcome back to Dabrowski Fieldhouse. We've got a very special guest at halftime. The Eaglets of Orchard Lake St. Mary's leading the Villages 28-27. It's Detroit Catholic's own Don Horkey, a writer, and not just a writer. Look, this guy's a 1955 grad of Orchard Lake St. Mary's, and how proud you must be as an Eaglet grad. Let's start with a championship last year in basketball. And then this latest one yesterday in football. It's a good time to be alive, to be an Eaglet fan.
That's right. Well, you know, the St. Mary's has a reputation, even when I was in 1955, that's almost like before Christ, that was so long ago, that we always had very competitive an attitude in the team and among the players and the fans. And that's what I recollect, and I'm so doggone glad that it still continues. that there's a nice spirit, and that the school is always striving to be better, and we're doing that, and the facilities, the student body. I mean, it's a nice place, and I'm glad I'm an alumnus.
And when you were here, of course, you had to board. You had to live in the dorms. There was no commuting option like there is now.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So talk about that. What was life like as a boarding student, as a young man?
Well, it was structured, of course. We had class only half a day on Wednesday, but half a day on Saturday, and that was designed so that our weekends wouldn't be so boring. Of course, there were no girls on campus unless they came from Keego Harbor, but otherwise it was strictly all boys.
Wait a minute, what did you slip in there? Unless they came from Keego Harbor?
Well, they slipped on campus sometimes, I have to admit.
Okay, fair enough.
But that's all right. Boys will be boys. But it was a structured life, and I liked it. You were able to, organize your life. What did you want to do? At one time, I was going to be a priest, and then I gave that up. I'm a father now of 4 children.
Okay, but, congratulations.
I liked being at St. Mary's as a student, and then as an employee for 26 years in alumni relations and Founders Day dinner and that sort of stuff. So it was to me, working at St. Mary's was like my vocation. I mean, that was what I was intended to do, and then I left it, went to other opportunities, but I always came back to St. Mary's.
Yeah, and it has a special place in your heart.
Absolutely.
You also cover the Detroit area and Catholic League and other, you've seen this boom and specifically the Detroit Catholic League and its athletics, its growth.
Right.
What do you make of all this in recent times? And it's kind of fluctuated in sports.
Well, the Catholic League has a reputation of being one of the toughest leagues. One of the toughest leagues in the state of Michigan, particularly the Central Division. And we have 15 sports on boys, 15 sports for girls, and it's the quality, the number of last year there were, I keep track of this, there were 210 seniors who made commitments to college, who are now playing college ball. And that every year that's between 195, 200, 210. And so the students here they're good students. They're good athletes and they're good students. And so the Catholic League has a very respected reputation. And this year we had 5 Catholic schools in the football finals, for example. And so it's a place for colleges and pros to look for future players and candidates and so forth.
No doubt. Don, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much for joining us. We know we'll see you again. We hope to see you again soon.
Okay,
thank
you very much.
Thank you for what you've done, not only for this great institution, but for all the great Detroit area Catholics. And keep up your great work on Detroit Catholic. I really enjoy your writing.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
You bet. That's Don Horkey, class of 55 at Orchard Lake St. Mary's.
That's right. A couple of years ago.
We're glad you're with us. Thanks again. We're back with more on the Preps coverage of Orchard Lake St. Mary's and the Villages after this.
At Alliance Catholic Credit Union, we're your financial guardian angel. We're here to help you achieve your dreams. A new home, a Catholic education, that business you are working to build. We're here to support the goals of your family, your retirement, and the community that surrounds you. We're here to offer your trusted financial services inspired by Catholic values. And like your guardian angel, we'll always be by your side. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Every high school sporting event in the state of Michigan has one thing in common: officials. Every game, every meet, every match. Without officials, there'd be no touchdowns, no three-pointers, no face-offs. Without officials, there'd be no games. Officiating is a great way to give back to your community and stay involved with the sports you love. And officials are needed now more than ever, because without officials, it's just practice.
We're thankful for our friends at Gino's Pizza. Oh, man, the food was just dynamite today.
Legendary Gino's.
Great to see Mr. Santia. Good to see Rocco. Good to see Marco the other day. Gino's Restaurant, they can accommodate parties, meetings, or any type of gathering, 25 to 100 guests. They've got Santia Hall next door. Gino's can host up to 300 people for wedding receptions, private parties, charity auctions, and meetings. Go get them. Gino's, really good, special pizza, great food, a lot of fun. 1999 Cass Tech Road. Some highlights from this first half. And Stick, it was a first half that started with Trey McKinney, and there were some good things on both ends from both top players.
Yeah, Trey McKinney, I mean, 21 points in that first half, pretty much getting it whenever he wanted, wherever he wanted, knocking down a couple big three-pointers. But give your cap to the Villages, man. They've been hanging in there. You see Brutus knocking down some shots. Jamar Bernard, that's been the guy. He's been their best player on the court. And unfortunately for him, he got 2 fouls right at the end. But he's at 8 points for the first half. So it's going to be a fun second half here. You see Orchard Lake St. Mary's getting a little bit more physical. You see the Villages starting to get a little bit more physical. They felt each other out in that first half. They kind of know where everybody's going to be now. And we're going to see how these two teams settle it here in Orchard Lake.
3 ball's been a big theme. Trey McKinney with 5 of them in the first half. And 3 players with multiple threes.
But that's the thing for Orchard Lake St. Mary's is who can come to support Trey McKinney. I mean, obviously Sherrod Barnes has his 5 points, but outside of that, you have Zip Hines with 2, and there you go. That's the scoring for Orchard Lake St. Mary's. So very balanced from the Villages. We'll see who can get it going here and who's going to take over this game leading on into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, who could be that third guy for St. Mary's? And how will they play cohesively? They're not playing much over the fall together. Pull up Britt. He's got 6 points in the first half. Kemp with a rebound. Sherrod Barnes, 5 points in the first half. Back to Zip Hines, who had a couple points. Pull up right elbow jumper, no. Tip out to Peyton Kemp from Quincy Wright. Feed to the corner to Trey. Step back triple. Short. Rebound by Brutus. Brutus, the return pass that's blocked by Trey from behind. 3-on-1 developing. Zip Hines to the hole. Can't reverse it. Quincy Wright finishes.
And the Villages are too busy worried about what the officials didn't call on one end to get back on defense. We're going to have to get another look at that. It looked like he got all ball. Maybe he got him with the body below. But either way, if it's not called, you got to get up and play D.
McKinney versus Brutus has been a bit of a movie early. To the rack, it's Britt who lays it in. He's got 8 to tie for the game high for the Buffaloes out of Lake. Out of the Villages in Florida. I don't know why I wanted to throw in a lake. We're at Orchard Lake.
There's some lakes in Florida.
There
Okeechobee is near there.
Yeah. The Villages is north of Orlando, a little west. Peyton Kemp lost it. Too much dribbling. Throw ahead, 2-on-2. Good recovery by Barnes. And they'll have to back it out with Corbin.
That was great defense by Sherrod Barnes there. One man stopping the fast break by himself.
One-man press breaker and stopper. 3-ball magic for Bernard doesn't continue. Throw ahead, Peyton Kemp all alone, 4-3. Heel miss, no. Quincy Wright with some fancy footwork, but couldn't finish. Britt on the run. Up to Bernard to the rack. Kick back Brutus. Reverse good and the foul. The visitors by 1 on the Villages. Fancy pass, Sharon of the Sugar.
There you see that man down low finally getting the call that he was looking for, but way to keep his balance, deliver it, and get it in for a shot at an and one. Chance to go up 2.
6 points now for Hurley Brutus. Multiple Division I offers. 4-star. Long, athletic, a lot of bounce, 3-level scorer, and a selfless player, a guy that will give it up as well. Cans the free throw. 2-point lead for the visitors the Buffalo from the Villages.
Yeah, and they fought back. They were down 8 to 10 points at one point in the second quarter. But you could just tell they were continuing to fight and continuing to get at it.
Steele picked off. Thompson the other way. Gives it up, and Brutus denied again. This time by Wright. Back out. Thompson, tray ball. Got it. The Villages by 5. Todd Covert wants timeout in Orchard Lake, Michigan. Back in a moment.
What makes people stand in this line like this for 3 hours? Because we're not Dunkin' Donuts or Tim Hortons. These donuts are made fresh daily, and it's made with love and consistency. We got the same ingredients. It didn't change. The people know that, and that's why they standing out there.
How about Todd Covert, 10th year, and led his alma mater to the promised land, the Division I state championship last year. And this is a guy that took this team, look, got them all the way there the year before to the Final Four, and then took them over the edge last year. Todd was no stranger to St. Mary's, 3 sport letter winner, All-State in golf, baseball, and 92 grad, went to Oakland U, and Coach of the Year, and well-deserved for Todd Covert. And the Eaglets, right now, they're down by 5. What's Todd Covert saying in that huddle?
Probably just slow it down. I mean, it seemed to be some sloppy basketball play, like you mentioned, a little bit of over-dribbling. But I'll tell you this much. I mean, the Villages have some long, athletic guys, and they are making the passing lanes very hard to get anything crisp. You would expect them to run a play for Trey McKinney here to get some points back on the board, but we will see.
McKinney against Brutus. It's been fun to watch. Brutus all over his shorts. Trey with 21 points, but has yet to score in the second half. It's only 3 minutes old. Trey got hit in the midsection by Brutus.
In the man section.
Yeah.
Well, you're wondering if these two have any experience with each other in the eyeball league, because, you know, Trey in the AAU has played some of those games over the summer, and that's where Mr. Brutus resides.
Yep.
So they may have acquired a little matchup, and I believe that's another foul on Brutus, and is that his 3rd or 4th?
3rd, I believe.
He picks up 2 quick fouls. Oh, it's his 3rd, I'm sorry. It was Bernard that had 2 before half.
Yep.
And now they're going to switch Bernard onto Trey.
They'll check Beavis in, Ethan Beavis, who hit that 3-pointer earlier. Pass to Kemp across court. Pass, corner, Zip Hines for 3. No. Big boy rebound by Bernard on the run to Britt. Back to the lefty, Corbin for 3. Splash City, the Villages by 8 at Orchard Lake.
Yeah, St. Mary's a little slow to get back on defense and left a wide open trailer for a 3.
Trey double teamed right to the corner. Barnes with a rip, drive, and blocked out of bounds. Buffalo is bouncing right now and bouncing their way.
Yeah, you can tell they've stolen the momentum in this gym. They're playing with more energy and playing with a lot more purpose as well.
Inbound play, Sherrod Barnes. No, iron unkind, but Zip with a fine feed to set him up.
And that's what St. Mary's needed, just some quick, easy points. Get Sherrod Barnes to the line. Hopefully he can knock down 2. You know, we've seen him hit big free throws in big pressure situations.
The Western Michigan commit sinks the first. Talking to him before the ball game. He's excited to play with Javon Hanna, Orchard Lake St. Mary Eaglets. Currently with Western Michigan. And Chauncey Willis.
Yeah, some familiar faces making their way out to Kalamazoo.
Yeah.
Western Western has a history of making the tournament as well.
Sure.
Kylo Jones back in the day.
That's right. Rip drive. Hines, solid defense. Todd Covert raved about his defensive improvement. Tough catch on the pass from Kemp, and it's a turnover. Tough pass. Quincy couldn't handle it.
Yeah, that is a tough one down low, and Quincy's had a few that's been tipped off his hands. Just a little gangly right now, trying to figure it all out.
Eaglets trying to find their way in this early season, yet to really get on track offensively. Beavis throws it away, out of bounds. I can't help but think of Beavis and Butthead.
Every time you say it, I snicker to myself. Try not to get it on the broadcast.
I know. It's a great last name.
It is.
I gladly trade it for Bush. High on the left. Sherrod to the right point. Trey with 21. Scoreless in the second half. Gets it ripped. Watch out. 2-on-1 the other way. And great hands by Sherrod as Zip burns down to the other end. Barnes to start it and end it.
Yeah, Sherrod Barnes, a defensive specialist. There you said it. He started on the defensive end, and they got rewarded with the cheddar at the other end.
Such a dynamic defender. Todd Covert saying the explosiveness is even much improved. Corner three, count it. That's number one. That's Corbin, the point guard. Fine player. He's got 10. He's the leading scorer. Couple threes in this game. 7-point lead. Number one Eaglets on the rope against one of Florida's finest. Another three, Corbin, no.
That was a heat check because he was feeling it.
Sure was. 17-footer, no. Quincy Wright with a second chance over Beavis, no.
Yeah, you can tell St. Mary's is missing Jaden Savory down on that block today. Those sure hands and easy touches off the glass.
No doubt. Not to mention holding down that defensive anchor. Three ball from Beavis, high on the left. He's got a couple triples. And don't look now, but the Buffalo have their largest lead. It's now double digits in Metro Detroit. Rainbow three for Zip Hines. And give him a fistful. Eaglets answer back down 7 now.
That was one of those no, yes shots that went in if you're Coach Covert.
In front of that student section. Pulling for their senior classmate. Timeout on the floor. Colt McDowell says so. The Villages showing up in Orchard Lake, making this a fun one across the country. Come on back, won't you?
Look, everybody wanna go and talk it. At the same time, gotta walk it. Better yet, run, go, hit a lick, divvy up with my homies, and we do it all again.
Well, since 1971, the Santia Family Restaurant has been the place to go for good food made with their own family recipes, hand-prepared, using the freshest of ingredients, specializing in traditional Italian food, American classics, and featured specials, served in a nice, comfortable restaurant surrounded in a friendly atmosphere. Perfect for the entire family or for an intimate dinner. Go find them, Geno's. We thank them for the pizza tonight. Find them at Kego Harbor on Cass Lake Road. They're open until 9 tonight. But you can get them every day of the week. Best pizza in town. Ooh. Splash City for Aiden Corbin, the Daytona State Community College commit, who leads the building for the Green Guys with 13 points.
Yeah, and he has gotten hot here in this second half. I mean, if I'm Todd Covert, I'm thinking about adjusting my defense to just slant towards him right now.
He's their leader. That's the Eaglets' leader, Trey McKinney for 3. Splash City. Give him 24, but his first points in the second half. 7-point lead for the Villages. Sherrod bodying up Corbin. They put the right guy on the hottest hand for the boys from Orlando.
And when I say slanting the defense, that means putting Sherrod Barnes on you.
Yep. Sherrod locked in against Corbin. 10 seconds left in this third quarter. Corbin against Barnes. High ball screen, Brutus. 4 seconds, 3, Horn, front, no. Rebound, and that will do it for 3 quarters of play. That shot was good, but they'll wave it off. And the Eaglets down a touchdown as they head to the fourth quarter. Don't you go anywhere. We're the Prep. Thanks for watching.
Your Catholic faith, it's at the core of who you are, what you do, and the decisions you make. At Alliance Catholic Credit Union, we make your faith and finances work together. From home needs to business needs, from school to retirement, we've got the financial well-being of our Catholic community covered. Visit us today and see how your faith and finances can work together. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Colt McDowell is a guy that grew up spending his summers in Michigan, in Traverse City, and he's 10th-year head coach. Serves as the assistant athletic director as well, and LaGrange College is where he went. 6 district titles. He got them last year to the Final Four. 10 collegiate players in his tenure, including the current NBA Trey Mann, who's with the OKC Thunder. And yeah, the Final Four last year in 3A. Look, Colt McDowell is a good leader. He's got his club playing confidently as they take the 7-point lead to the fourth quarter.
Yeah, he made the adjustments at halftime. You saw him kind of take Trey McKinney out of that entire third quarter, and look at it. It led to a 7-point lead. And they even had Brutus on the bench for a considerable part of that third quarter, too. So all things working right now for the Villages.
McKinney down the avenue, and it's a block call. It's going to go on number 2, Thompson, I believe. Well, yesterday the Villages, they were throwing snowballs at each other. Now they're picking up each other off the floor. Blocking foul, Trey line left.
Just can't imagine living your life till you're like 16, 17, 18 and never seeing snow. But I guess, you know, there's a lot of kids in Michigan that have never seen the ocean.
Or sun.
Yeah, or sun for 6 months out of the year.
Well, they've warmed up here, 25 degrees outside, but St. Mary's, is this free throw number 1 of the night?
No, Sherrod Barnes shot 2 earlier.
Okay.
We don't have Pat the Stat here to keep us on track tonight.
No Jamie Janssen, no Pat the Stat. Austin Sonnenberg got traded.
And Austin's only doing 1 roll tonight, apparently.
Oh, yeah. No, he's focused on his 1 roll. There's a spin and a bump, and that'll be a foul. And that will be ball out of bounds, baseline right.
2 on Trey McKinney.
Aiden Hanks is checked in. Peyton Kemp is checked out. Luke Crichton back in. The Indiana commit for baseball. Eaglets also have a Michigan State commitment for football. Down low, baseline, hammer slam. That's Hurley Brutus, the big boy at 6'7". He's got 9. Dribble drive, lay it, good. That's Sherrod Barnes with a jet-like attack on that left baseline. Sherrod with 11.
This is interesting. They ran the point through this young man the first 2 times down the floor. They do it again here, and he gets himself a nice trip to the free throw line.
Jomar Bernard off the bounce.
Yeah, Bernard is showing, man. He's not only a big man, he's going to take you out on the point. And that's where St. Mary's may want to switch and put a smaller defender on him. But if you do that, then he just takes you right on the block. So he's a tough matchup.
Top 12 player in the state of Florida in the class of 2027. And toughness there. Defensively, very active last year as well. 27 steals as a freshman coming off the bench. And they're leaning on him here tonight in suburban Detroit. Free throws no good. 6-point game. Eaglets down with 6:50 left.
2 big misses.
Zip Hines back to Trey McKinney, 19th best player in the country. Dribble drive, left hand layup, no. It's a foul. It's number 4 on Hurley Brutus, the best player in Vegas gold and dark green tonight, is about to find the bench. Here's why.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that little reach forward with his arms. If he just goes straight up, they're not going to call that. But he went in forward with his arms, and that's what will get called every single time. And unfortunately for him, looks like the coach is going to trust him to play with 4 fouls. Oh, nope, I lied.
Sherrod split the pair his last time out. Beavis will check back in.
But honestly, this is when the Villages have had their best offense. I mean, Beavis has knocked down a couple big threes. You got Corbin doing his thing as well, and then Bernard.
You mentioned the balance, and that's exactly what it's been. 8 points for Britt, 13 points for Corbin, and 8 points for Bernard. 5-point game. Pair split. Sherrod with a dozen. Pull up, topside 3. Thompson, no. Zip Hines elevates. And Trey McKinney comes up gimpy. Spin, zip, mid-post jumper, no. Aiden Hanks fights for another possession. Oh, the garbage man doing his thing. Timeout, Todd Covert. Trey McKinney limps to the bench. We'll dig into that. We're back after this. Stick around.
What makes people stand in this line like this for 3 hours? Because we're not Dunkin' Donuts or Tim Hortons. These donuts are made fresh daily, and it's made with love and consistency. We got the same ingredients. It didn't change. The people know that, and that's why they standing out there.
Lowering the shoulder. Swing and a miss. McGinley scores!
We are the Prep. Thanks for watching our primetime matchup. Follow us on our social medias. Find us on TikTok, on X, on the Gram, on Facebook, and right here on the YouTube. If you could subscribe, we'd love that. It's free. And thanks for following us on our social media. Austin Sonnenberg doing a fabulous job on social media. We appreciate his hard work. Join our sponsorship team today. Contact us at info@theprepsports.com.
Great job on that graphic too, Austin. Austin's doing a great job over here today.
He is. Dusty May is in the house. University of Michigan commit Trey McKinney. And Dusty with eyes across the way on Trey. Of course, he came out and slowly came off into the huddle. We'll keep eyes on him, Stick.
Yeah, he was holding the back of his right leg kind of down by his ankle.
Cramping.
Not sure if he got stepped on, cramp.
Yeah. Power move, Sherrod fouled again. He'll go to the line for the 5th and 6th times tonight. The senior guard, one of the best in the state of Michigan, earns his way to the free throw line.
Yeah, kind of found himself in no man's land there, and he got kind of bailed out by Beavis hitting it from the back.
So Beavis on the bailout sends Sherrod line left. One of the best on-ball defenders in the state, if not the best. This guy has made his money on the defensive end, but his offense last year took a different kind of leap, Stick. a double-digit scorer, a facilitator, a dime dropper, and a guy that can help him on the glass, too.
Yeah, and just a consummate teammate, right? When you come in playing with the Trey McKinney, you know you're not going to be the guy when you could go to a lot of places and be the guy. I mean, he's going to Western Michigan. That's a pretty substantial scholarship that he got. So for him to just be comfortable with his role and play it at a high level, it speaks volumes to him as a young man, too.
Eaglets have missed 5 free throws tonight. They're down by 5 with 5:30 to go. Low pass, no problem. A left corner 3, Splash City. Aaron Britt for 3, give him 11. And the third highest score tonight for the Buffalo. Trey with a quick trigger and answer, no. And the rebound pulled down by Corbin. And with a 8-point lead, the Villages wants to slow it down a little, Stick.
Yeah, you can tell St. Mary's just does not have rhythm on offense. They really just can't find anybody else to help Trey McKinney out. And
Corbin kick, Thompson 3, got it. Largest lead of the night of 11. Timeout, Todd Covert. 55-44, 8 points for Thompson, his second of the night, and this is a dagger.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I want to encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
Lowering the shoulder.
Swing and a miss. McKinley scores!
St. Mary's down 11. This is their largest hole of the night. And the Villages doing a number defensively against Trey McKinney, just 4 points for Trey in the second half. And look, their offense has heated up from downtown and been really steady and diverse.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking down the scoreboard, 13, 8, 11, 6, and 8. And then you look at St. Mary's, 12, 25, and then 3 zeros.
Yep.
It's tough to play a team game when you only got 2 guys scoring.
Trey, 3-ball, got it. Big bucket for Trey. 28 points, 7 of the second half. And he trying to lead the Eaglets back, down by 8.
Man, you could tell he's grimacing at every turn, too, though.
Will be challenged here. They put him on Britt. Hurley Brutus out of this game with 4 fouls, so the Village is doing it with him off the court for the majority of the time. Peyton Kemp to the hole, no, and an offensive foul. Britt took the charge, and Kemp has had a rough start, and his first night as an Eaglet active heads back against the other way.
Well, that's when the Villages went on their run last time, too, is, you know, when Brutus went to the bench, the other guys stepped up and started hitting big shots, and you're seeing they're running this three-point offense where they're getting penetration, then they're running guys off picks, and St. Mary's just not covering in the man-to-man style we're accustomed to.
Yeah, not getting the points off of those defensive turnovers has been a big part of it, too. Britt leans into one and cans it. He's got 13 points. And it's back to a 10-point bump for the Buffalo. Zip into the paint, pull up Jay, left elbow leaner, got it. Zip Hines now with 7.
He's got that high arcing shot, doesn't he?
Yeah, that corner 3 was high arcing, and that one was too. Tight defense here, working against Corbin. Kick out, open 3, long. Trey with a rebound on the Bernard miss. 3:30 left.
Oh, St. Mary's dodged a bullet there. Thompson had a foot on the line when he saved that, but that was going to be an easy bucket coming back. That's a big possession for Orchard Lake St. Mary's. Cut it to a 6-point or 5-point game. Give yourself a chance with 3 minutes left.
The opener for the state champs, and Trey McKinney wants to get to the line, and he is wincing in pain as he walks back to the mid-stripe. Don't want to speculate, but it does look like a cramp.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't want to speculate on it, but we've called several Orchard Lake St. Mary's games, and I don't think we've ever seen him grimace like this or labor like this.
Tried to get to 30 points with 2 makes here, and he rattles in the first. Trey McKinney, 23 points a game last year, winning the top honor in the state of Michigan with the Gatorade Player of the Year honors. Back-to-back years, this guy is a generational talent, as Todd Covert talks about him. And so right now he's got 30, Eaglets down 6, looking for a stop against a hot Villages club. Whistle and an offensive foul. That's 5 fouls, and Hurley Brutus has fouled out of this game with 3:08 to go on an offensive screen.
Yeah, you're going to get a look at it here. Brutus leans in just a little bit. Sherrod Barnes sells that because that's a questionable call, especially for your last foul of the game.
Yep. And Colt McDowell is just furious.
I don't blame him, to be honest with you.
So he's still in the game, and the change will now be made. And McDowell's hot.
Yeah, if you can read words, you're just saying that's awful. So not going too hard at the official, but, you know, making his point heard.
Yeah, understandably so. Beavis will check in. 6 points for him off the bench. Barnes and the Eaglets down 6 to the hole. Layup no, and a blocking foul late. And that'll send Sherrod back to the line. That has been a challenging spot for the Eaglets in this game, but a chance to cut it down to 4.
Yeah, that's one of those calls. If that goes in, they're not going to call it. But since he missed the shot, you kind of got to call it since there was contact. But Sherrod Barnes has struggled at the line here a little bit today. And he missed 2. I think he missed his last 2. You can also see him laboring a little bit, grabbing his leg. So it may just be the first game of the year. You don't have that game legs underneath you.
Yep. Makes sense. Got to get the game-ready muscles you just can't prepare for. Barnes, line left, has been a Warrior 4-year player, defensive specialist, and a guy that was so clutch last year in the playoffs for the Eaglets at the free throw line, ironically.
Yeah,
I think he had a streak of like 16 or 17 in a row, but he has left the Eaglets shy. They've missed 6 free throws tonight.
That's the difference in the game right now.
Yep. Missed them both. Wow. So here come the Villages, left to right, +6 with 3 to go. Britt with confidence leads the charge. Thompson off the bounce against Kemp. Back out to Britt. Long possession for this team, lost out of bounds, turnover, Jamar Bernard. And this Villages team in long possessions, just not part of their makeup.
No, I mean, they're a quick run and gun team, and when they don't get those looks off the screen, it's tough for them to find an open shot. But to their credit, they've gotten plenty of those looks tonight.
They have. 2:20 left, Eaglets down 6. Sherrod to Trey. Little back down, shot up, short, picked up. Quincy Wright laying good. His 4th points of the night. Delay a game whistle, but the Eaglets have got it down to 4 with 2 to go.
Yeah, big rebound by Quincy Wright. We were talking about him early in the game. That's how he's got to get his sugar. That's how he's got to get on the scoreboard. And that time he did his job.
Again, no Jaden Savory tonight, no Axel Newell. No Kareem Pruitt.
I guess they deserve a night off after playing in a state championship game for football.
Yeah.
I was disappointed, but I guess they deserve it.
They do. One game out, and I'm sure they'll be back in roaring next week. 97 seconds left. It's been a dandy. And Quincy Wright with a foul. And that is team foul number 4. The Eaglets have to foul 3 more times. That's the 3rd on Quincy. Nobody with more than 3 on the floor for St. Mary's. No fouls in the game for the Eaglets. Zip Hines. So,
well, Bernard missed his first 2 attempts at the free throw, so I'm assuming every time he touches it, that's the guy they're going to want to send to the line.
Yep. So next up for Orchard Lake St. Mary's, they'll take on Avondale at OLSM before hitting the road to take on St. John Jesuit. There's Jermaine Gonzalez, state champion less than 24 hours ago. Congratulations to Jermaine Gonzalez and the whole entire Eaglet staff, players, on winning their 9th state title in school history. Jermaine, of course, took over for George Porritt, who had won 7 state titles. And
there's some pressure to be the guy after the guy, right?
Of course.
Not a lot of
Big
times
time.
that guy survives.
That's right.
So for Jermaine to turn that football program around in 3 years, pretty impressive.
Big time. So, 6-point game after that make. Split the pair. Made them both, rather. Trey topside against Beavis. He'll take him. Kick out. Zip Hines 4-3. Splash City! Eaglets have cut the lead in half with 1:05 to go. On the Hines triple, his 10th point of the night. 5 fouls. Eaglets have to foul 2 more times. Aggressive, trying to force a turnover. That's Hines. That'll be his 2nd foul.
But that's the way to go about it, right? You know you have the fouls to give. You know you got to give those fouls. So at least expend the energy trying to get a steal. And then if you get some incidental contact, a foul, no big deal. But go all out.
So with 5 fouls, 2 shots, no more 1-on-1 in high school. First shot up and good, at least in the state of Michigan. So after 5 fouls, everybody gets 2 shots.
I wonder what it's like in Florida.
Yeah, I didn't ask that question. I never asked the good ones. I'm sure our viewers on YouTube will tell us. We'll find out soon enough. Both free throws are good. 5-point game, 50 seconds left. The #1 team in the state of Michigan on the ropes. Trey McKinney, 4-3. No. Beavis with a rebound, and he's fouled immediately. And the Villages, team that trailed in this game by 8 points, once led by 11, and they are right now looking in prime position to knock off the state champions, a team that only got knocked off once last year in 28 tries on their way to the title. Who did they lose to? UAD Jesuit. And the Eaglets and UAD will be at it before too long. They'll play each other on the 13th of December down in Detroit.
It's always a grueling season in the Catholic League Central Division.
Sure is. So, pair is split, 6-point game, 37 seconds left. Trey McKinney puts it up and banks it home. Trey has 32 points, 30 seconds left. Foul in the backcourt. And it's 2 free throws coming for Aiden Corbin, the Daytona State Community College commit. And their leader, this is the guy that leads them, and he's had a big night.
Yeah, I know we talk about it kind of every season, Chad, but sure would be nice to have a shot clock at the high school level.
Yeah, it's getting closer.
Yeah, I know we call a couple tournaments every year that has it. And
yeah, we'll do it again.
Those games just tend to flow a little bit better and just some more excitement at the end of the ball game.
Yep, that's right.
You know, there's no minute left. Okay, they're just going to pound the rock into the floor for 60 seconds.
No doubt. We thank our nearly 500 live viewers right now across the country from Florida to Detroit to Michigan, from 25 degrees to 85 degrees. We thank you. So, free throws are split. It's a 5-point game. 18 points now for Corbin, the leading scorer. Sherrod Barnes to the hole. He's held. It'll be 2 free throws coming for Sherrod, who's had a rough night at the stripe.
Yeah, and if you're the Villages, you're comfortable sending Sherrod Barnes to the line so far in this game. I mean, this first trip, he knocked down both of them, but since then, it's been rough sledding.
It has. 12 points for the leader of this club. Sherrod has become more of a leader. We got a scoring update in the football finals, Division I. We've got our insider in the house. We're going to have to give this man a hat. What's the score?
Cass Tech 27. I didn't hear the other.
27-0 Cass Tech in football.
So.
Sherrod Barnes free throw up and good. Give him a lucky 13. Some people call it unlucky. I think it's a lucky number. Count it. Give him 14 or 2 touchdowns. 3-point game. 24 seconds left. We'll step aside for a moment. We're back with a finale. Don't go anywhere. We got a good one.
In today's ever-changing mortgage lending world, the importance of true professionals has never been greater. At Success Mortgage Partners, we want you to have the experience of a lifetime. Founded and owned by Catholic League alumni, our family-centered business keeps your interest at heart as we help you navigate this turbulent market with ease. If you or a family member has a mortgage need, please call me, Owen Lee, at 734-822-9792.
Lowering the shoulder. Swing and a miss. McGinley scores!
Chad and Stick back with you. 23.9 seconds to go. The Villages from Florida, the first team ever in MHSAA history to come up here and play in Michigan. And they're here to play St. Mary's, the defending Division I state champions. And Stick right now, the Eaglets on the ropes, down 3.
Yeah, this is a big inbound play. St. Mary's going to apply that pressure.
Inbound, Britt gets it to the big boy in the sophomore Bernard, fouled in front of the student section. And so that'll send the 6'7" super sophomore line right.
See, now I don't love the immediate foul there, right? You have a chance. You got him in the backcourt still. You could still go for the steal and maybe make something happen, especially with their big man bringing the ball up the court. You know, that's not their typical point guard. So I would have preferred them to maybe 2-3 more seconds off the clock trying to get a steal, but here we go.
There is time. 3-point game, 22.2 to go. Good numbers up there. For the Villages, they'll take on Williston on Tuesday. That free throw's good. 2-possession game, 22 seconds left.
That's a huge free throw.
They'll take on BCA next Saturday. Sherrod between the rings, time winding down. Step back 3. Back iron miss, no. Aiden Hanks, kick back. Barnes for 3 again, no. Save, and the Villages are going to run out of Metro Detroit with a win in Michigan. Fouled with 1.5 seconds left. And the boys from Florida come up and heat up Orchard Lake and Dabrowski Fieldhouse in this first game festival.
Yeah, you got to hand it to them. I mean, they came in here, they saw what Trey McKinney had in that first half, and they completely, I guess not completely, but they shut him down in the second half. Only 8 points for Trey McKinney. And then the supporting cast for Orchard Lake St. Mary's, we kept waiting for them to show up, and they never did, while the Villages just kept knocking down 3 after 3.
Yep.
The big win for them.
A team that beat Mount Verde already this year. Shows why in Orchard Lake. The Eaglets get a battle and the Villages get a win. And Florida's finest steps out of Dabrowski Fieldhouse into the 25-degree temperature to go to 3-1 and a happy flight back to Orlando. We're back to Dabrowski Fieldhouse in a moment. This is the Preps coverage of our primetime matchup.
Your Catholic faith, it's at the core of who you are, what you do, and the decisions you make. At Alliance Catholic Credit Union, we make your faith and finances work together. From home needs to business needs, from school to retirement, we've got the financial well-being of our Catholic community covered. Visit us today and see how your faith and finances can work together. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Look, everybody wanna go and talk it. At the same time, gotta walk it. Better yet, run, go, hit a lick, divvy up with my homies, and we do it all again.
Hi, I'm Nick DePonio, and this is HVAC.
Want to thank our friends at Gino's Pizzeria and Restaurant. Delicious pizza, Italian-American food. Go find them after the ball game right on Cass Lake Road in Kego Harbor. Thank you very much to Gino's, longtime friends. Welcome back to Dabrowski Fieldhouse. The Villages come away with a win, 65-60 over Orchard Lake St. Mary's. St. Mary's led this game by 8. And almost erased a deficit late in this contest, Stick, but too much from the Villages from too many sources.
Yeah, they just always had the answer when they needed a big three. I mean, they had multiple sources that could give it to them. You saw Corbin knock some down. Of course, our man Beavis hit a couple three-pointers. Bernard even got on the scoreboard with that. And the most important thing for them is they did this majority without Brutus.
Yeah.
When he was on the bench in foul trouble is when they went on their spurts in the second quarter and there in the fourth quarter to take complete control of this game. So it was a fun game to watch. Orchard Lake St. Mary's, I mean, it took them a long time to get that 1L last year. This time they get it right out of the way at the beginning of the season, and I think they're in that locker room right now talking about how they cannot let it happen again. But the Villages have all the talent in the world. It's a good team. You can tell they've played together for a long time. Good system that they run, getting their men open for three-point shots. And overall, just a great first game for the season for Orchard Lake St. Mary's, and a good game to get to 3-1 if you're the Villages.
Aiden Corbin leads the way with 18 points for the Villages. Trey McKenney leads the way, 32 points. Sherrod Barnes had 14 points, but just nothing really after that. Not enough from that third and fourth source. that we got so used to seeing last year and really kind of taking for granted the multiple weapons that St. Mary's could offer at any time off that bench.
Yeah, well, let's be honest. One of their starters was out, Jaden Savory, and he would make an impact in this game. Just his ability to control the paint, his ability to get easy layups, his soft hands around the board. I thought there were several plays that Quincy could have made that Jaden would make, and that could have changed how this game went. But there's no excuses here. I mean, this team came up here from Florida, 20 degrees, throwing snowballs at each other, came in here and threw an L at St. Mary's, and they got to take it on the chin, and that's just how it is when you invite good teams into your building. But for Orchard Lake St. Mary's, I think running through the states, they're going to be fine.
Yeah. This is what Todd Cover wanted to play the best, not just in the state of Michigan, wanted to play the best in the Midwest and in the country. They'll do it again. They'll play Cathedral on the first of the year. Cathedral out of Indiana, top team out of the state of Indiana.
IMG's coming in town this year.
IMG, one of the top teams in the country, will come in on the 9th of January. So, I mean, Todd wants to play the best, challenge his team. Early on in the year, though, you can run into things like this, and he's well aware.
Yeah, but, that's the old Tom Izzo way, right? I'm going to schedule North Carolina, Duke, and Kentucky back to back to back. Well, come playoff time, it pays off. And so you'll take the early season loss. You don't want to, but if you're going to lose, you want to lose to a team like the Villages, who is one of the top 5 in the state of Florida and has premier talent, too.
They sure do. Well, that's going to do it for our coverage. 65-60, your final score. The Villages of Florida, just north of Orlando, in a town called The Villages. And when a town's named after your high school, gosh darn it, you mean business.
M. Night Shyamalan may have something to do with it. I don't know.
They might. The community is proud tonight and celebrating as the Buffalo knock off St. Mary's and the Eaglets 65-60. We'll have coverage next week. Stay tuned to The Prep Sports. Subscribe. Stay on the YouTube page. A lot of hockey and basketball, boys and girls coming up this winter. I want to thank our executive producer, Alex Westfall, Austin Sonnenberg on graphics, Sam Stick Day on audio and on color commentary, Evan Westfall on replay, Corey Easterling on a camera, and David Forrest on a camera as well. A great crew in store. Thanks to everybody for being a part of this broadcast. My name's Chad Bush. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for watching. So long.